In this video, we're going to talk about the 822D. If you would, and you think you're going to like this video, and you like what you've seen so far from the channel, go on down there and subscribe for me. Leave a comment, like the video, make sure you click the bell so you get notifications. Let's get this video started. Hey, if y'all like this video, go down below, down there, and tell me which brand you like better. You like John Deere? You like Tigercat? Just type Tigercat for Tigercat, type John Deere for John Deere. Get at it. You can see we're here at the house. We're rained out again today. Hanging out on the, figured the 234B would be or 234, sorry. No B on this one, but I just figured this one would be a good backdrop for a login content video. So anyway, I've been wanting to do this video for a few weeks now, and I've had the footage kind of that y'all are going to see scattered out and about through this video stored for almost a month now, but I kind of wanted to go over the 822 Tigercat track feller buncher and talk about it a little bit more, and other than the lines blowing, talk about some of the positives that I've seen in it since the last time I've run it, and they put all these new debris guard updates on it. So let's do a little bit of a retro back to, I guess you say, how we ended up with 822D, a little bit of the backstory on it, some of the history with it, stuff like that. So many of you know that's followed me or been with me on social media prior to YouTube. We purchased this 822D in the fall of 2015. This was the fourth 822D to make it into the United States. There was a few others throughout Canada, but this was the fourth one in the States, and it was a great machine from the moment it hit the ground to the time it had about 500 hours on it. And we've had most of our troubles with the machine can be linked back to debris getting on the machine that we could not get on top of the machine and get off of the machine, and it would get into the machine before we could get it off, and when it would get in the machine, then it just caused worlds of other nightmares with hydraulic line failures and wire harness failures, and just, I mean, y'all name it, it done it. It was really, really bad. I personally quit running the machine somewhere around 1,500 hours. I got back on the machine somewhere around 2,500 hours, 2,800 hours, and it was incredible just how much worse the issues had gotten. And then we worked close with Tigercat. They implemented a new they call it a slider mechanism on top of the boom to help get the debris off the machine. The biggest issue with it is anybody that's worked with the Tigercat machines, and especially the smaller machines, y'all know how the tops are flat. You know, there's no curvature or angle to any of the top of the roof on top of the 800 series or the 22s and the 30s, and I believe everything above that, the 845s above, have some kind of curvature to their cab. Well, the cab is always flat, but the main chassis of the machine the holes and everything have some kind of curvature, letting the trash shed away from the machine. And the 800s or the 822s and 830s are so flat that the trash would just set up on top and would pull down in the machine with the boom. And then they put this slider mechanism on top of it, and whenever they first brought it out, it had like little bitty short, like really short side skirts on this slider, so trash would still get underneath the slider and it would still, you know, fall down and mess up and everything like that. It still wasn't a foolproof system. And even John Deere's debris guard system is not foolproof. It is leaps and bounds above what Tigercat has. The inside of a John Deere machine stays extremely clean compared to the Tigercat, but that's not what I'm going to get on here. I just wanted to let that be known too. The John Deere machine is not foolproof when it comes to debris. Better, but not foolproof. And so it just caused lots and lots of issues, you know. And then they kept working with us with it, and then it kind of got to a point that they were like, this is what we got, and then we're done. Well, right before they done that, they put the slider on it, and then they put like I see it on the production models, and if you watch Tim O'Brien's channel, Cotton Top 3, you'll see where the hood closes down, and it got the cab that meets, and then right behind the cab, there's right at the back of the cab at the top up there's like a rubber flap here, and then on the hood there's another rubber flap, and they sandwich together like that. And then the theory behind it was, when we were helping them design that, would be that it would catch the trash, separate it, and then pull the trash back onto the hull as it was flipping open, and keep the trash from falling into the machine. Because that was also another major issue we were having with it, was every time we would open the big hull on the 822, all of the debris that got hung by limbs or whatever, vines that we could not physically get up there and get off, when we'd start opening the hull, it all fell down inside the motor. And there was more than one occurrence where that happened, and it fell, you know, you're having to work this button from inside the cab, and you'd start opening your hull, and you could see the exhaust and everything over here underneath the boom a little bit, and then you'd see a big old clump of dry pine straw fall on top of it, and you had to run out there because it would start smoking. There was multiple instances where it tried to catch on fire because the stuff was falling on top of it. And another thing we brought up to Tigercat is, even if they can't get it off the roof, that's a safety concern, because there was one time they brought the engineers down here, and we got on the inside of the cab, loosened the escape hatch in the roof. We loosened all that stuff up and tried to push up, and we could not, none of us could physically push that escape hatch open because of all the debris that was on top of it. You know, debris gets wet at night, and it piles in, and especially if it's raining, it's holding moisture and water, and it's getting even heavier. And it just wasn't a well thought out process or system, in my personal opinion. And so anyway, there was several trials and errors of things that they come and done. The biggest thing they done to help our personal machine was they put steps on the hood that's over there covering up your pumps. They put steps going up those, and then you could physically get on top of the machine and kick the debris off throughout your shift of operating, and at the end of the day kick it off, or before you had to open the door, kick it off. And that really helped things a bunch. And I mean, that really significantly decreased the debris getting in the machine. But you shouldn't have to be getting up there in the middle of your shift like that and kicking trash off the top to prevent it from getting in the machine. Even though you would get up there a couple times throughout your 10-hour cutting shift, you were still getting like tons of stuff in there, because I mean, all it took was one stick to fall underneath that little slider, and it just started pulling it in there. Every time the slider would, you'd go out with the boom, the slider would come down, and it would grab that stick and just kind of flip stuff over inside that slider. And it just wasn't a well thought out thing. And somebody may comment here and say, well, if you're needing to use the escape hatch, you're probably on your side or something like that. You don't need, you know, you don't need to go through the, the stuff's going to be through off the top of the roof if you're needing to go through the roof. That's not always the case. You could be in the swamp somewhere, and I'm not necessarily in swamps, but I have buried one, this particular 822, to where the door would not open until somebody brought me a shovel. And just say that machine catches on fire while I'm inside of it, I need a way out of that damn thing. And the roof is the only escape route. It needs to be my way out of there. It don't need to be halfway working. So about this time that they put the steps and the flap and the first slider mechanism up there, and they was kind of like, well, this is what we got. This is as good as it's gonna get. And then Tigercat just kind of shied away from us. Other than one issue, I mean, they did take care of several debris related parts failures. They covered the machine to be washed out a couple of times. We had to hire somebody to come wash the machine out a couple of different times, because we just did not have time, you know, and stuff like that. Because all of our operators are operators, and they're, you know, we're not out there to. We do sometimes, but we can't always pull an operator off a machine and just put him over here washing this machine when we're needing production. We'll put him on one of our spare machines and keep going, and we'll have to hire somebody to come do that job that we were needing done to the machine. So basically they kind of started shying away from us. And the other issue they stuck right beside us on is from, I'm gonna say, about 2,000 hours. Somebody may comment from Tigercat and tell me otherwise, but it was somewhere around 1,500, 2,000 hours. Tigercat started sending an oil sample specialist to the job site to collect an engine oil sample, and he was coming about every 500 hours and taking samples on it. And then it was about 5,000 hours. They knew they had issues with other motors, and they ended up bringing that guy down and checking the oil, and whenever they saw that our engine was developing the same debris, I mean the same issue inside the motor, having to check the radar because it started trying to rain, and I don't want to be out here with it raining. Yep, it's fixing to rain, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up quick. But anyway, it started showing the same signs that their motors had been doing with wear, and they brought the guys in to keep checking things and keep checking, and then finally they like, yep, this one's developing the same issue, and they replaced our motor in that track cutter 100% free of charge. Did not cost us a penny, other than trucking it to their shop to have it done. So I will give them that. So that kind of catches y'all up on where we're at today and everything like that. The latest updates that they have put on the machine, they have longer skirts on the sides, and I've got some footage that I'll kind of include here and there and yonder throughout the video, and you can kind of look at what I'm talking about. But the slider mechanism has been redesigned, and so far what little bit we did get to run it of that week, I think we put about 80 hours on the machine. It's way better. So kudos to y'all Tigercat for sticking with that and kind of upgrading that. The machine itself is still a really sound machine. It's got like 6,000 or 6,500 hours on it. It's in excellent shape, and that's to be expected from a Tigercat product. like our 822Cs that we had, we wouldn't start seeing issues out of them till like 10,000 hours, as far as like structure things. Now the head, we would see issues about 6,000, 4,000 to 6,000, depending on how sandy the ground we were working in. As long as we kept it maintained and welded up and patched up and everything like that, we didn't have no major issues. But so yeah, the new slider mechanism is doing a great job. There's some things I really like about the Tigercat that I wish the deer had, but there's more about the deer that I do like that I just can't see myself getting in a Tigercat again right now. The Tigercat it's not as smooth to me. It's way faster. It's you can do a lot more pitching your wood and trick cutting and stuff like that. Imagine we're fixing to have to move this to the shop because I hear the rain coming. But I mean, overall the machine is doing a great job. It has a bunch of hose chafe issues inside that once we get those taken care of, I think we'll be okay. Not sure, we'll see. But so yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the 822, and I guess you say after running it that week, other than the hoses, and that's nothing to do with Tigercat as the machine itself. That's the hose, and several of them are hose. That blue were hoses that have already been replaced, that weren't replaced with proper length hoses, and that was the reasoning that they blew, is because they were rubbing because they weren't the right length. But all in all, the little 822D is still a good machine. It's not my John Deere. I don't see myself going back on my Deere anytime soon. But
yeah, as you can see, we're inside the truck now, and I'll kind of add this in because I felt like I kind of shorted where I was going with the video, and I want to add this in. So anyway, I wanted to just, I know I've slammed the 822 pretty hard, and through the grapevine I was kind of told that several of the Tigercat people are watching my stuff, and they were just kind of bumfuzzled at why I'm so harsh on them now, when I used to be one of the biggest pro Tigercat track cutter people, you know, out there. And I mean, I used to make the joke, you know, back when I was running those 822Cs, you'd cut me and I'd bleed yellow, you know. So it was, those machines were just in a different ball field, and for different reasons, you know, non-tier 4, non-emissions. There's just lots of, you know, not issues, but things that set the C models from the D model apart. There's improvements with the D model. I like the seat, which is basically the same seat, but I like the seat, and I like how the joysticks are a little bit taller, and how everything looks more refined inside the cab. I mean, it's a super nice on the inside machine with all the plastic molding, and I mean, it has a great stereo system in it, and it's for the most part pretty comfortable to run all day. I'm not a big fan of their pedal design, but you know, their drive pedals, but and the track cutter side of things, I'm not a big supporter of that. But the overall comfort of the machine is a good machine, and it was a lot of fun to run when we first got it. I mean, a lot, and it cut a ton of wood, and it still will cut a ton of wood, but it's been foobarred so bad from the heating with the debris, and then the debris tearing things up and crushing hoses and making hoses rub and fatiguing the hoses with heat, and it's just, that machine will never be what it could have been. My personal opinion, they pushed them out too fast. And if that's what they wanted to do, that was fine. They, push them out. But whenever they started seeing customers have major issues like what we were having, I'm not saying just give us a new, I'm saying take this machine off our hands and let us start over with another new machine on notes. I'm not asking for free stuff. We're just asking to be accommodated for our troubles of having to test and help design these things and go through these ideas with the Tigercat people. That's what we were looking for, and then Tigercat just kind of away from us. So that's where I lost my interest in Tigercat, and when Tigercat done this, John Deere just kind of swooped right on in, and everything I was looking for out of a manufacturer, Deere has done it. So that's where we're at with that. But the new updates that Tigercat has implemented in the machine, the new, they've got a different little flap design, like I was saying earlier with Tim's. Got the two flaps that come together right behind the where the cab meets and the hull meets. That's a little bit different. That seems to be doing better. The skirts are longer on the slider mechanism. That is a lot better. Maybe if somebody from Tigercat is watching this, they can message me or comment some kind of email address to get with them. But the slider mechanism, whenever you blow a line underneath where that slider bolts up, you have to take like a come along and hook it all to that slider mechanism, hook it to the top of the boom up there, unpin it, and then walk the slider up the boom with a come along to get to where the hoses are underneath the slider mechanism. So although they've improved the debris issues with the slider, they've created another issue of fixing, what used to be, or what could be, a 30-minute or an hour hose, downtime. You're now looking at a half a day, because it took 3 men almost half a day to get the slider tore apart and the hoses underneath it taken care of and everything like that. Boy, the sun is coming through there bright, especially for it to be raining. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of throw this in there. I'm not sure where I'll mix it in, but I'll mix it in somehow or another. The slider mechanism and everything that Tigercat has done, the new version that we have is really good. It's, as far as keeping debris out. It's not so good when you're trying to work on stuff. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that little bit right there. I'm going to hurry up. It's starting to really rain. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that, and if y'all found some of this useful, or you have questions, go down below and leave a question. I love answering questions. If you have a suggestion on a video, let me know. I'll try my best to get one out for you. But make sure y'all go subscribe, hit the notification button down there, and all that good stuff. And until the next one, we'll catch y'all next time.